Everybody, it's Claire from Raven Class, and today we're going to do a science experiment using the soil from our garden. All you need to do this experiment is a glass, or you can use a plastic bottle, a clear bottle. You can see I've filled this about half up with water. The other thing we need are some scissors, some paper, some tape, and some earth from your garden. About this much. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to pour this earth into my glass or bottle that I filled up half with water. Now, to save us getting lots of dirt all over the table, I'm going to make a funnel with this paper. And the way to do it is to make a cone shape using your paper. So you just roll it over so you have a sort of a cone shape that will help me to put the earth in the paper. Put some tape on it, and then you can hold it above your glass when you're putting your earth in. If, like me, you find that hole is a little bit too small, the easiest thing to do is just to cut the end off with your scissors, and then you can hold it up. And it should help us now when I put my soil in, not to get it all over the table. So I'm pouring my soil through the funnel into my glass. So you can see I'm not making too much mess. It might be an idea maybe to put some paper on the table. We can always clean it up afterwards. But about as much earth in as that, I would say. Ooh, I've got my paper stuck in the soil. And then what you need to do is mix that soil really, really well. If it's a bottle, put the lid on or make sure your hand's on the top and give it a really good shake. I'm going to mix my soil. I'm just using a spoon. I am going to clean this spoon really well when I'm finished though. And give it a really, really, really good stir. It can be really messy. And the reason I'm mixing all this soil into the water is it's going to do something a little bit special when I stop mixing. Have a think and think what might happen to all the particles and all the bits in the soil when I stop stirring. I'm keeping it stirred so I know it's mixed up really, really well. And now I'm going to stop. You can see this. And you see, if you look closely, you can see it's already happening. Can you see this line here? And what's going to happen to this soil sample is it's going to separate out, and the different bits, the different particles in the soil are going to form different layers in my glass or my bottle. I'm going to show you a picture of what it should look like if we leave it to settle. You see, it's already happening. But if you leave it to settle for a day, would be really good. This is what you should start to see. Well, it's beginning to look like that already, isn't it? You get a soil profile that looks a bit like this. And what happens is the heavier and the larger particles fall down to the bottom. So you get the biggest stones here, and above the stones you have the gravel. And then you get a line of sand, and we know what sand looks like. It's little tiny particles, but you can normally see them and you can feel them. And then the particles get smaller and smaller until they turn into clay. Then you get your water layer, and on the top you have something called, I always want to say humus, but it's humus. And this is the sort of organic matter, the matter that might be things like leaves and twigs that are still decaying, and they don't tend to settle, they tend to float to the top. I'm going to show you one that I did yesterday, and if you look, can you see how it's looking like it's settled much better than the one that I've got here? But the one I used yesterday, I must have had lots and lots of leaves and old decayed bits of plants because there's lots and lots of humus on the top layer. You can see where the water is quite clear, but it's still a little bit brown, and that's where the minerals have gone into the water. And I'm hoping you can see that I've got my layers. At the bottom, that's probably the best view. At the bottom, you can see the bigger gravel and sands, and then the sand gets finer and finer and finer. Then I've got a line of clay here, and then some of my humus and leaf particles have fallen to make another layer there. What I'd like us to do is, if you do your soil sample at home, if you could take a picture, a photograph, and send it to me. So if you're Raven, send it to me, or if you're another class, send it to your class lead. That would be amazing, because that will give us some pictures of different soil samples, because depending on your soil, these layers are different sizes. So if you've got lots of sand in your soil, you'll have a really big sandy layer. If you've got a really clayey soil, you have a big clay layer here. And that's really important, because when our plants grow in the soil, they need all of these parts to grow really, really well. So they need the gravel to help us with drainage. If the soil is sandy, that helps with drainage, but you don't want it too sandy or the water drains away too quickly. And you need some clay, because a good part of clay will help support your plant. But if it's too much clay, then sometimes the water can get too damp. The soil can get too damp. You need to make the humus at the top as well, because that can give nutrients for your plant as it degrades. So enjoy making your soil samples. Try and keep it as clean as you can, and I'd really love to see your photographs. Okay. And I'm trying to close it.